In order to help you think through how to build an engaging social media strategy that entices users to create, share, and contribute content, we spoke to a leading social media marketing expert. Jennifer Lamb is the owner-director of Bamboo Garden and has also produced the I Ate My Way Through food blog for over 10 years. I spoke with Jennifer on how to approach social media campaign design, what makes users want to contribute, and typically what businesses are wanting out of a social media strategy.
For most clients, it's about helping them to tell their brand story across social media. So producing social media content, usually to increase online advocacy, so getting their customers to rave about them online, or to increase loyalty, so getting their customers to come back more often, or to outreach to consumers. Getting influencers to talk about the brand and building up the brand presence that way. Traditionally, with influencers, you would then talk about blogger outreach, but nowadays it's more the term that's more acceptable is probably influencer, because now there are Instagram influencers who might not be a blogger, and then on other social media platforms as well. So it's going beyond just bloggers, but it's essentially anyone who has a voice, has, I guess, a decent following to be able to influence their opinion on people. Anyone from bloggers right through to Instagrammers, I guess anyone with a strong following. So the first step is to look at the overall brand objectives. So what are we trying to achieve and who the right influencers are. So looking at not just their reach, but their engagement, their demographic, what type of brands they normally work with, and then looking at how we can create really authentic content with the influencer. So something that they genuinely would find interesting, to make that collaboration actually worthwhile for the brand. We basically want it to be a win-win situation for the influencer and for the brand. So owned media would be properties owned by the brand that we work with, so things that we produce content for on their behalf. So like their Facebook page, their e-newsletters, their blog, their website, anything basically with their brand name on it. Earned is then media that I guess when you talk about like word of mouth and reviews and testimonials, so things from their customers that would talk about them, so making sure that people on other platforms do see reviews posted from them, and then paid media, so us buying ads on their behalf, so Facebook ads, Instagram ads, LinkedIn ads, Google ads, and so forth. And then there's like the overlapped areas as well. So like an overlap would, for example, be working with influencers or looking for like brand ambassadors. Like that kind of overlaps between like paid and earned, because there is that authenticity aspect, but you sort of are activating it because it is a paid endorsement. I think sometimes it is overdone in the sense when agencies aren't when they're doing lazy PR, so when you aren't actually identifying the right influencer who is a good match for the brand. I think a lot of the time there's sort of a broadcast out there to just get anyone that they can, where then you sort of lose that authenticity of the brand story. The influencer will lose their brand credibility because they are pitching something that doesn't necessarily align with who they are or who their followers think that they should be. So then I guess sellout is quite a big thing against influencers, where some are setting up profiles purely for the sake of making money, and that's becoming quite obvious across some accounts. So when we work with influencers, we always provide them with the brand hashtags and the account tags as well, and in addition to that, we always provide our agency tag. So we want it to be quite transparent that they have that post is sort of sponsored in that sense. But a lot of the time, I think people are now savvy enough to sort of understand that when you do see a product featured in there, they've most likely been gifted it or it was sponsored. In terms of like overall marketing budget, I think digital and social media influencers and social media outreach is just growing. It's so much more transparent when you compare it against traditional media in terms of what you can report on. You can exactly see where your marketing budget's going towards, what platform's working. And then like the strength of things like Google Analytics that can give so much reporting against what's working, what content is producing the most value, and how that drives conversions as well. I think that's definitely a really growing area for just online marketing in general. With influencers, I think there's probably more and more of that. And then with like user-generated content as well, like it's cheaper for brands to create content without having to hire out like a professional studio and then get professionals to produce that content. They're able to get more for less by using influencers.
In talking to Jennifer, we can see that social media often aligns with traditional media in that a business will spend money on what they would term advertising, but will also invest significant time and money into what Jennifer terms organic media. That is, the social media that will attract users to talk about the business favourably and share the brand or service with their personal networks. This is a harmonious balance between engaging users, talking with them to build a community, and then engaging them in a way that they have a vested interest in the social media campaign.